Listen, today, I'm going to tell you something you've probably never heard before, and frankly, something most people wouldn't want you to know. Over the next 9 minutes, I am going to open doors in your mind that have kept you shackled to the middle-class struggle. If you believe your life is the way it is because you don't earn enough, or because you have bad luck, you are dead wrong. The real battle isn't happening in your bank account. It's happening between the neurons in your brain. Why is it that two people can earn the exact same $100,000 salary in the United States, yet one is building a multi-million-dollar empire while the other is one paycheck away from collapse? It's not about their math skills. It's about their internal threat assessment. Most of you are running on what I call default human software, a system designed for tribal survival, not for wealth in a capitalist 2026 economy. This software tells you to consume now because tomorrow is uncertain. It tells you that status symbols equal safety. It pushes you to follow the crowd, to avoid risk, and to seek comfort at all costs. But the elite, they have deleted that software. I am Mia, and today, I am giving you the hidden code that the top 1% install in their own minds. This masterclass isn't just an audio track. It's mental surgery. We are going to deconstruct your relationship with debt, rewire your dopamine responses, and build a psychological bridge to your future self that is so strong, you will never feel the urge to spend impulsively again if you listen to this until the very end. I can promise you one thing: you will not be the same person you are right now. Your life, your perspective on money, and your understanding of your own decisions are about to shift in a way that cannot be undone. So before we go any further, I need you to make a decision. Are you ready to rewire your brain for wealth? Because what starts now is the end of your old life. Let's begin with a truth that might actually make you uncomfortable. Have you ever wondered why some people can sleep peacefully while carrying $10,000 in debt, while elite money managers feel restless over even a single dollar they owe? Most people view debt as a math problem or a utility. You tell yourself, I'll just pay $300 a month for this car, and it's manageable. But to the elite mind, that $300 is not just a payment, it is a leak in their lifeblood. Neuroscience suggests that for financially disciplined individuals, the brain does not process debt as a neutral number. It processes it as a threat. When they think about owing money, it activates the same stress response as physical danger. To them, debt is not convenience, it is pressure. It is a constant signal that something is out of alignment. Now think about your own behavior. When you swipe your credit card for something you don't truly need, your brain is often numbed by the culture around you. You've been conditioned to see spending as normal, even rewarding. But what you're not seeing is the hidden cost. Every dollar of interest you pay is not just money lost, it is time, energy, and freedom being transferred away from your future. From this moment on, I want you to stop seeing your debt as numbers on a screen. I want you to see it as something active, something that feeds on your inaction. Because that shift alone can change how you behave. There is something else most people never calculate, and it is one of the biggest financial blind spots you have. It's what I call the second cost of ownership. When you buy something expensive, you are not just paying for the price you see, you are paying for everything that follows. The maintenance, the insurance, the upgrades, and most importantly, the opportunity cost of what that money could have become if it had been invested instead. A $50,000 car is not just a $50,000 decision. Over time, it can represent hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost potential. And this is exactly why the elite think differently. They don't ask, can I afford this? They ask, what is this costing my future? From this point forward, every financial decision you make should pass through a new filter. Not whether it feels good now, not whether other people will be impressed, but whether it moves you closer to or further away from the life you actually want. Because the truth is, most people are not broke because they don't earn enough. They are broke because they make decisions that keep them that way. And those decisions are not random. They are the result of patterns that have been running in the background of your mind for years. And here's the part most people avoid. You don't rise to the level of your income, you fall to the level of your identity. If deep down you still see yourself as someone who spends freely, someone who prioritizes comfort, or someone who isn't truly disciplined with money, then no matter how much you earn, your behavior will eventually bring you back to that level. This is why sudden wealth doesn't last for most people. Their environment changes, but their internal identity does not dot at the same time. Your brain is being constantly trained by the world around you. Every notification, every advertisement, every social media post is designed to push you toward immediate gratification. Each time you act on it, your brain releases a small reward signal. Over time, this builds a pattern where you start to crave quick satisfaction instead of long-term growth. And without realizing it, you become dependent on it. You begin to associate spending with progress, even when it's actually holding you back. The people who build real wealth break this pattern. They retrain their minds to find satisfaction in delayed results. They learn to feel progress not when they spend, but when they save, invest, and build something that grows over time. This is not something that happens overnight, but once it starts, it changes your entire relationship with money. Because now, discipline no longer feels like sacrifice, it feels like control. There is also a silent trap that catches almost everyone at some point in their life, and it's called lifestyle inflation. As soon as your income increases, your lifestyle expands to match it. You upgrade your environment, your habits, and your expectations. It feels like success, but in reality, it often just locks you into a higher level of dependency. Instead of creating freedom, it creates pressure, because now you need to maintain that lifestyle, and that keeps you tied to the same cycle. If you look closely, you'll notice something interesting. Many people who appear successful on the outside are actually under constant financial stress. They have built a life that looks impressive, but it is fragile. They rely on continued income to sustain it, and any disruption can cause it to fall apart. This is what creates the illusion of wealth without the reality of security. And it's one of the biggest mistakes you can make confusing appearance with actual stability. The truth is, real wealth is not visible. It is built quietly through consistent decisions that may not look impressive in the short term but create powerful results over time. It is not about showing others what you have. It is about building something that gives you control over your life. And that requires thinking differently from the majority. The most powerful shift you can make is to start thinking about your future self as someone real, not abstract. Right now, most people treat their future like a distant concept, something they will deal with later. But your future self is the one who will live with the consequences of everything you do today. Every decision you make is either helping that version of you or making their life harder. When you start to see it that way, your choices begin to change naturally. If you've made it this far, then something inside you has already started to shift. Because now you are seeing what most people never take the time to understand. The problem was never just money. It was the way you think about money. And once that changes, everything else begins to follow. The only question left is whether you are willing to act on what you now understand. Because awareness without action changes nothing. But awareness followed by action can change everything. From this moment on, every decision you make carries more weight. Not because anything outside has changed, but because you have. You are no longer unaware. You are no longer operating on autopilot. You are now making conscious choices.